Welcome to another episode of It's Just Alex P. And on this episode, we're going to talk about last week and how I did in the stock market. Plus, we're going to have a nice recap of Nio Day. And we're going to talk about the 3 lessons that I learned this week in the stock market. Yes. If you guys like the channel, you're subscribed. Make sure you follow me on Instagram as well. It's just Alex P. And then also, for people that are watching it for the first time, please go ahead and subscribe. Alright, so let's talk about last week and talk about how I did last week. You know what? No, we're not going to talk about that. First, we're going to talk about Nio Day and some of the things that I learned from Nio Day. So we're going to start off with the Nio Recap. Nio Day Recap, my fault. So for me, with Nio Day, the one thing that seemed through the whole presentation was about how they're basically building. They're focused on their community and how they're building basically like a subculture for Nio. They want to bring people in and keep them in the Nio ecosystem. So a couple of things that I saw that was big is just like the biggest thing is going to be how the brand is going to be moving forward, and basically building out a brand. They're going to build great products as well, but at the end of the day, people are buying it because of that awesome brand as well. You know, it's a name brand. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense to y'all. So big thing when they started off, they talked about their community involvement. Even they gave a shout out to a local restaurant in Wuhan, yeah. And they talked about like this couple that got married because they came out to like a community event, if I remember correctly. And then a couple things as well. They did form a new subcommittee, industry committee. And the things coming away from the January 4th meeting was that they're going to be focused on user care. All right, industry sub-community, public welfare, environmental protection. So great thing out of it that they came out with something called Blue Points, and the Blue Points is basically you're going to be getting points when you purchase at Nio, or you're doing things that's going to keep the help succeed for the China's Blue Sky initiative. You'll be able to gather points, and those points can be used for different things within the Nio ecosystem, basically like a clothing line as well. So you're going to be able to trade those points in and get to use it towards clothes and all these different things that Nio is probably developing to keep you a part of that city, part of the culture, part of it, right? Part of Nio forever, Nio for life. That's what they're thinking. All right. And they're gonna also retro do it. Basically, people from 2020, anything that they did, they're gonna bring them and they're gonna get points. They can use those Nio points, those Blue Points. Of course, a new battery. They're working towards a 150 kilometer battery. But they're gonna be this every new car coming out. They're gonna have at least a 100 kilometer battery. And then they talked about like the charging stations, and they were gonna, back in 2015, they talked about having 1,100 charging stations, but now they pivoted and they think the battery as a service is what they're seeing. So they're gonna be deploying over 500 power swap station, which is cool. They currently have 177, and they did 1.49 million swaps. The big thing about batteries, I need to probably look a little bit more into it, is like what's going to happen to that battery? That's a lot of batteries, right? Can they reuse them? Like what's going on there, right? And then of course in 2022, when they release 150 kilometers, all the previous Nio users are going to be able to come in and change their batteries. Look at that waste, look at all that stuff. So maybe that's something I should be looking into. And of course they unleashed that new car as the ET7. They really talked about the LiDAR system and how it's going to be, how they're going to use it. Basically, the cameras on the outside. I did really like the car, and it's going to be ready for pre-order I think tomorrow. So, and it's coming out in 2022. So I got a lot from it, but the biggest thing that I really took from it is that how they're gonna get everybody to be a part of the Nio culture, right? And bring people in and keep them a part of Nio. So they're reusing it. So that really goes into the battery, right? Battery as a service, gonna keep you coming back, that subscription. And then that's the big thing. And when they roll out the new ones, new people are gonna have to be able to come and replace their batteries. Plus they talked about, so yeah, that's my overall analysis of Nio. They're bringing you a part of the culture. They're gonna keep you a part of it, and then you're gonna be able to get new batteries and you trade your points in and all these things. When you come for Nio, you're Nio for life. That's what they're saying. What happened last week? So of course, we talked about last week that I was gonna Fisker. I was gonna look at Fisker. I was gonna look at Nio and Xpeng and Li Auto and all that stuff. So of course I did that. And there's a couple other trades that I of course did as well. I didn't really do any investing this week at all. But I am gonna be doing a video where I'm gonna talk about a portfolio of me actually what I'm gonna be investing in for 2021 and beyond. You gotta go for the long money as well, right? Yep. And talking about going long, nice segue. That was great. Most of the stocks I bought this week, I went long. I didn't go short as much, but short took up more trades than I actually thought. Like I shorted Chewy, I shorted MicroStrategy, I shorted Penn National Games. I did do other trades. Of course, I did trade Nio. I was able to pick up Nio, I think at 50, and I took it to 59, and then I got out of some of my positions, but I still held it over the weekend. You never know, right? Never know. A couple other trades. Of course, I did DraftKings after that news, which was great. And let me see what else. I did. All right, so the 3 things I learned this week. We're gonna call it 3 things I learned this week. Maybe I should do a logo. All right, so 3 things that I learned this week. 1, with the way that the market is going, and all the things that happened at the Capitol, right? I thought I was making some great decisions, which I was making great decisions, but sometimes you're gonna have to adjust, and we adjust. So one thing, shorting is okay. It's okay to short the market. I know the market's on that upcline, okay, but it's okay to short some stocks. Once you're paying attention to your technical analysis, cues and so forth, it's okay. It's okay to short. Just make sure you're watching your position size, and that's the big thing for me. I haven't been a big shorter, but I'll short. Next, let my winners run. I pulled out quickly, basically, out of a decent amount of runners that could have ran a little bit more. Not saying I could have made more money because I had to use the money for different things, but I may have decreased the amount of trades that I had to take. And then it's okay to scale in, it's okay to scale into positions. So going into next week, I'm gonna continue on these trends. I'm gonna let my winners run. I'm gonna continue to look for stocks that I can short and continue to see I can scale and better my position so I can get the best pricing. It's been another episode of It's Just Alex P. Please make sure you subscribe. Please make sure you go follow me on Instagram. I'll put it down in the comments, and hopefully I'm gonna try to get better at these stock analysis. I'll see you next time.